All right, welcome back, K2 Off-Road episode 16. Gonna keep the intro short. We're working on my Blazer today, as clearly stated in the title. So let's jump right into it, putting the front suspension under my K5. All right, if you guys remember my K5 Blazer from one of my very first videos, I just unearthed it again. From the last video, I got the front crossmember put in, so I got the holes drilled in the frame, crossmember powder coated, and then got that bolted in and painted the front frame rails. Today I want to get the front suspension put in, so I've got upper control arms here, brakes over there, lower control arms over there, steering rack, sway bar, brake parts over there. I'm going to try to get that all put in and find some wheels for it and get the front end set on the ground, because this project has been sitting on jack stands for far too long. So let's go. So I started by getting the upper control arms on without the shims and installing the ball joints and grease zerks. Then I got the lower control arms installed. They're kind of a pain to get the pins to line up in the cross member, but after chipping enough powder coat, I finally got it. Once both control arms were on, I got the brake spindle knuckle kit installed, tightened the castle nuts on the ball joints, and installed the cotter pins. Once I got the spindles on, I realized I needed to take the rotors and calipers off to install the hub seals, which included packing the wheel bearings with grease and greasing the caliper slide pins. Once the rotors were back on the truck, I installed the axle nuts, cotter pins, hubcaps, and then the caliper. Next step was mocking up the sway bar and installing the steering rack. As you can see from the confusion here, this is where things started to go wrong. Alright, we have upper and lower control arms in, spindles, rotors, wheel bearings are greased, hub seals are in, calipers, slide pins are greased, pads are in on both sides. So that's done. Sway bar is mocked up on the lower control arms. I chose not to drill the new holes to mount it. It used to be here for 4-wheel drive, now it's going to be somewhere back here for 2-wheel drive. I chose not to drill those holes because that's dependent on ride height, and I did some measuring and I'm just not confident in the location. Then I moved on to the steering rack and realized the bracket is not wide enough to clear my frame rails. I am not sure quite yet if that's a product problem or my frame problem. I thought all of the 70s CK510 trucks were the same, especially considering this 72 C10 crossmember cleared my 75 K5 Blazer frame beautifully. So I'm going to look into that. Worst case, I'm going to end up cutting that bracket, extending it out, and then just bolting it to the frame that way, and everything will be fine. So I'm going to look into the rack, and most likely have to cut that bracket to get it to fit. Alright, so it's been a couple weeks since I've recorded anything with my Blazer because I moved to my new shop, which we're in right now. So pretty. And I've just been super busy. Anyways, we left off dealing with this rack situation, specifically the bracket being too narrow. And I went back and forth with the manufacturer a couple times, and then they just stopped responding, and I'm sick of dealing with it. So I'm just gonna cut it like right here, keep the bolt holes the same, add roughly 3/8 of an inch, bring it back to my old shop, test fit it on my Blazer, bring it back here, weld, grind, paint, all that, and then get it installed. And that will probably be the conclusion of this video because then I need to order more parts. So let's get this rack fixed. Alright, so got this little spacer piece stacked in here, bevels on both sides for welding later. I'm gonna bring it over to my Blazer and test fit it. Alright, bracket fits perfect. Got bolts in on this side, nice and straight, and then I'll have to drill the holes on this side because they were never there. Once I test fit the bracket on my K5, I brought it back to my shop for final welding. Alright, so I got the first pass down, all the way around, and I think I'm going to just do a second pass to get the welds up to flush, and then clear coat this section because you know what? It doesn't have to be ground out and painted black like everything else if I don't want it to be. So wait for this to cool down. I'll get it cleaned up, do a second pass, and then put the rack back on and get it put in the truck. Okay, so I came back here and got the rack put in. Bolts are in on this side, and then it's just vice gripped over here for now. Then I went to put the tie rods on and realized I got the wrong ones. So I got a 73 to 87 rack and 71 to 72 brake and knuckle kit. So I need to get the 71 to 72 tie rods. Thankfully the threads are the same size on both, so I can just thread the new tie rods into the rack, bolt them in the knuckle, and then the front end will be put together pending more parts. So I've had enough problems and I'm just gonna wrap this video up here. We will continue with this after I order some more parts. All right, so that's all for today's video. Unfortunately, I didn't get it set on the ground like I wanted, but progress is progress, so we're getting somewhere. Get more parts ordered, I'll make another video. If you like this video, please like, subscribe to the channel, and if you really like this video, go to my website. I'll link it below, www.k2-fabrication.com. Check out my products for sale, check out my merchandise. I even have a K2 Fabrication t-shirt and hoodie with my blazer on the back. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.